This short video will show how to set up attendance and also gradebook for your on-campus courses. This can be useful for assessment, accreditation purposes, but also for communicating with students and clarity on their side. It's also good for our student success people because they'll be able to run attendance reports and potentially help out students who are struggling. The first thing for attendance, we're going to look all the way down here on the left side to settings. Navigation, look for the attendance, and then pull it up to the area where you want it to appear. Now, all of these items that are here are what is going to be available to students on the left side of their screen. Some of these are required. Anything that says policy are required, and you should not remove those. The others are optional, though. As a general rule, this should be the minimum of what's required for your class. You don't want to have extra links going different directions for students because it can be confusing. And also, it's a good idea to make it sort of hierarchical. That is, what students are likely to use the most and working down to what they're least likely to use. Hit save. Now we've got an attendance module here. You can see when you click on it, it will show you all of your students. In this case, there are no students, but they'll show you as a list. You can mark them as present or absent or excused. If you mark them as excused, it will show them essentially as present. One other thing you can do here is that you can create a seating chart, which I really like. You can create sort of a physical version of your class here and then take attendance that way. So both of those are great. Up in the settings, you can decide whether you want this to count towards the grade. If it does, it'll have an item in your gradebook. If it doesn't, then this will just be for your reference and will not count towards their grade. Okay, the next thing I'd like to talk about is setting up a gradebook. To set up a gradebook, you come down to the left side where it says assignments. Anything that you put in here will be the gradebook. Only things that appear on this page, and even the way that you organize this page, will be what is seen in the gradebook. Up here we can add categories, groups for the gradebook. And here on the left, we can rearrange them if we want them in a different order. Now, at the very top, you can add assignments. So I'm going to add one here. I'm going to call it a week 1 paper. I'm going to give it a due date real quick. Now, this due date will also show up for the students in their to-do list. So it'll let them know that it's coming up. And then I'll hit save. There we go. There's a week 1 paper. If we want, we could click in on this and have a look at the details. It says right now submitting nothing. So this is perfect if what you need is just a spot in a gradebook to keep track of grades. If you want students to actually submit something to this, you would want to come in here to edit and change it from no submission to online. Online, that would give them the option to submit it online for you, and then you'd be able to grade it online. And now again, that would be great for if you want to be able to keep a record of the papers they submitted, keep a record of the feedback they're getting, use that information later for departmental assessments or accreditation things. So online is probably the best, but if you don't need that, you can leave it as no submission, and then of course you have to hit save. So if I go back to my gradebook here in assignments, you can see how easily we could just add all of the assignments that we need. We're going to make sure they're published. One other thing you can do here is this is where you can create weights. So at the moment, this is a point-based gradebook, but let's say that I have a specific scheme that I want to work off of. Maybe discussion is 20, maybe assignments is 40, and reports are 30. And then exams are going to be 10. And then we can see that that's all worth 100 there. So now we have a weighted gradebook, and you can see how easily we could just add in all the different things that we need students to do. It's going to keep track of dates for them, and you'll have that as a reference later as well. Again, if we go back to the idea that students might need to turn this in online, or if you want this to reflect more of what an online, the convenience that an online course can have, or the convenience that really utilizing Canvas can have, I would go then, once you've created this, you've got all the assignments that you need, your gradebook is all set up, I would then go into the modules area here, and I would then start adding these assignments from the gradebook into the modules. You can see now I've added it here. I'm just going to drag it up here to activities. And so now we have the activities here, and they're next to all of the resources that also might be necessary to complete that work. So if you're planning for students to submit things online for you, submit work for you, then I would recommend doing this. If you just need a gradebook, then you can just stay in this assignments area and build out your gradebook piece by piece right there.